We're live.
Hey, oh geez, gargly throat there. Hey everybody, Tom
Good
Tizak.
morning, everyone.
Hey
Hello,
Angela,
guys.
Good
George
morning, Jordan.
Kamakawa, and Kenny Ward, still on the East Coast. Kenny's talking about trying to maybe make his way back to quarantine. You guys didn't know that, but that was
Oh, wow.
coming.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to say something. So,
Yes, you did.
anyways, lots of things going on this week. Some really great things here in Hawaii. Some really crazy stuff across the country. Some really sad things as well. And we've as a team had the conversation on the topic to talk about a lot of different things. And I think the first one is as a team and as individuals, the challenges that our world has been going through in the United States and the challenges of diversity. And I'm so I think it's so important for us to address it. Thank you, Angela, for making that a reality for us. Our team is diverse in and of itself. We have a lot of different perspectives. We see the world in a lot of different lenses, as Jordan so clearly pointed out, and from way different parts of that. And so for the social unrest that we've been experiencing, the police brutality, the clear and inappropriate behavior of both people in the streets, the police that created the travesty for Mr. Floyd, I think it's reprehensible that that's happening. And I just think that we just need to be so aware. And my daughter is, there's so many people voicing so many opinions that are unfortunately not always accurate. And my whole thing is last night I was talking to my daughter, and what she has taught me is something so clear is before you speak, before you say something, make sure that whatever facts you're citing are accurate, because it's terrible when people start to mouth off, post stuff with inaccurate information. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't say anything. Be respectful, show love, show compassion, do the right thing. And we are in a very challenging time. It is a time when we can do so much good. And it's unfortunate that there's just such a small handful of people that are creating some ammunition for people to take it all down the wrong path. So I think that we need to take this opportunity and regroup as a country, as a community, and just really start to love each other more and more. As part of the conversation we had in our team is all of this. We need to bring love out and love each other more than we possibly can. So that's my take on it, guys. Angela, Jordan, Kenny.
Yeah, I feel, when we were discussing this right before, I was kind of I told Angela, I was like, oh, I'm a little scared to say stuff, basically. And so I want to be sensitive. And she said, just be genuine. I think that was like one of the biggest things, both Kenny and all of them were just like, yeah, we need to be genuine. And for me, I've come from a different background. I said, hey, we've all come from different lenses and stuff, but I can relate in a sense that growing up here in Maui, it's such a melting pot of cultures, and we grew up just to love everybody. It's anybody of different races or colors, doesn't matter. And it wasn't until college, when I went to school in Washington, for me personally, that I experienced racism for the first time. I had a couple instances, and I had never experienced that before. And it was the first time it really opened my eyes to that, how evil it is, and it really got me down, ground me to my core. I was like, man, because it's so interesting to grow up here and not have any kind of just experience with it, and then to face it head on for the first time, it really just was shocking to me. Because you're exposed to it on the other side when it's not you. You don't really know until you're there in those shoes. And yeah, it's not funny, but this guy at Spokane Fair, he was trying to get me to play a basketball game. And he was like, hey, come on, you. And I was like, no, I don't want to play. He's like, hey, you, Jet Li. I was like, dude, what? And it was you know, that was just a small instance. There were some other times, but I was like, whoa, like, and I knew it came from a place where he didn't. It was just very, it was evil. It was, and so when all this stuff came up, you know, I can only see it from my small experiences, but try to relate to, you know, those feelings that I felt in just a small part, and feel the hurt that I felt. And it was just like, man, this is an eye-opening experience. So I think just trying to be, like Tom said, I mean, just being, we need to like eclipse it with love, I think, and really like just put any prior lenses that you have wherever you grew up or whatever you've been through, just kind of put that aside and kind of just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. So just, I'm trying to be genuine. I need
really
more coffee. I'm not even woken up yet. So. Anyway.
I mean, I would just say that I think it's super important to just acknowledge that some of I unfortunately don't think it's as simple as just setting those lenses aside. I think it requires like daily work on all of our parts as non-Black people to really try our best to actually understand and really like acknowledge our place and our part in it. Like there's so many things that I know for a fact I'm able to do just because of my appearance that I think that a lot of anyone who's Black unfortunately can't do. The amount of things that people have to question on a day-to-day basis, I think of very small things. If I leave the house, I mean, I'm gay, so looking a little too effeminate, I think I might get, you know, something
wait.
That is nowhere near what unfortunately a Black person has to experience on a day-to-day. But I also think that there's three of us talking, and I'm very curious, just Angela, how you're doing, how you're feeling, how your experience on all of this with your family, how your family is processing it, and how you're feeling just on the whole.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Kenny. Thank you. Let's see, over the last couple of days, well, really the last 30 days, just within the Black community, we've just seen over and over again killings where they should not have resulted in killing. I went the other day with my boys to the Black Lives Matter protest, and I was so encouraged when I went out there to see so many different people, like all different, so much diversity, and then also not just the different ethnicities of people, but also the different ages of people. There were people out there with little children, and I was walking past them just saying, thank you so much for being out here. Thank you for teaching your little people, first of all, how to stand up, what it looks like to have a voice and to stand up. Tom, before we jumped on this call, you mentioned how you were raised. You're 60 years old, and you mentioned, and correct me if I'm wrong, the way that you were raised in a racist town, in a racist family. And so it goes hand in hand with the same reasons why I was thanking those people. You were taught. There are things that are taught and ingrained deeply that you don't even know that. And I don't mean you specifically. I do mean you specifically, but I mean in general, in people that just teach us how to talk or think, act a certain way, and it runs deep. It runs so deep. And so going out there that day and seeing those young people, seeing the old people, you had like aunties out there protesting. Racism is wrong. Prejudice is wrong. My boys, my skin color, my family members, my ancestors, they're human beings, just like you, just like anybody watching this. It's no different. I've had my own experiences. My kids have had their own experiences. Jordan, you talked about your experience, and I'm sure you've had more. But let's be clear that it's completely different when a life ends,
Right.
or you're in fear of your life, right? That guy calling you over to shoot the basketball, you weren't in fear of your life.
Yeah.
He just offended you.
Yeah.
You could brush that off. But yes, it resonates and it sucks. But now we're talking about on an extreme level where it's really, we're here. But the thing is, this has been happening for centuries. So I appreciate what your daughter said, and know your history. Learn the facts. This is not just something that has been happening in the last 30 days or the last year or since Trump is in office and since, no, this is centuries of a system that has been just in the fabric of America, a system that does not work. Tom, you and I talk about all the time about systems. And on a small scale, when our system is not working, right, in order to function, we got to knock it down and come up with something else. It's the same thing. The system is broken. It's set up well for people that look like you, Tom, you as well, Kenny, right? It's set up well for those, but it does not work and it is not consistent with what the Constitution says. So whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it, if you don't agree with it, I would challenge you to really do some deep thinking on your own and why you don't agree with it. We talk about mindsets, right? We're always talking about mindsets. This is a great example of a mindset. Does it need to change? Does this mindset need to change? And we can't keep blaming, oh, this is how this is how I grew up. This is what I know. This is just how it is. It's not enough. It's hurtful. And lives are affected. Those subtleties, those it hurts. So I guess that is my thinking, and through this is it's an individual thing. It's a family thing. It's Michael Fanning posted something today where he talked about having a dinner conversation, and he acknowledged the privilege that he had. I mean, yeah, you have privilege. Starting with the privilege, starting with and having those dinner conversations, I think it's like, for the first time, it's raw and in everybody's face, but it hasn't. It's always been there.
Right.
I think always been there.
I think it's important also to note that just change, generally speaking, is messy. Change doesn't happen easily.
Yes.
Change is an aggressive process. And I think that all of us who are on the outside, at least for myself, I'll speak just for myself, like it is a near daily commitment to unlearning things.
Yes.
I grew up with a fairly liberal, very inclusive family. But with that being said, I still have to unlearn things just based on where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a daily commitment, and it's a daily like acknowledgement that if I am doing something and it feels a little funky, I'm probably contributing to the problem. And sometimes that even if I'm not, I might not be doing anything, and I'm still potentially contributing to the problem because I'm not doing anything, because I'm not using my voice to make a difference or to make opinions that are not mine heard.
Yeah.
And coming from that other side of the coin, I mean, Kenny, very liberal. I came from a very conservative household, as we said, racist community, a slightly racist household, but born and raised into that, and worked really hard all my life to change that. But it's different because for me, I had different upbringing, different perspectives, different experiences. But that being said, I'm really super proud of my daughter, who has, who's very proactive, who's very, we argue and fight about things because she has been raised in a household where we don't allow that, as I've matured and everything else. But I find that we have these discussions that are pretty intense because I still have this lens of experience that's so much different than we've been able to provide for her. She was born and raised in Hawaii, in Maui. I was not. And so I still look at these things from a little bit, not a lot different place, but that doesn't mean that but it's been our goal to bring her up and raise her with the mindset of it's not okay.
Yeah.
Now, I stumble still, and I look at things, and I see things from a business owner's perspective. I feel, there's so much compassion. I used to own a retail store. The thought of somebody busting in my windows in my retail store and doing all those kinds of things, that's painful for me because I have that lens, and it doesn't make sense to me. So I get frustrated with that behavior. And you get frustrated with
getting killed.
Pardon?
What if it was like your uncle getting killed? I've seen this argument, and I've seen the argument a lot of like, we need to stick to peaceful. And I think that that's a really specific, divisive tactic. Frankly, I think like it's not fair to equate the loss of property and the loss of a business to the loss of a human life. Even if it's, even if, and I hate to use that term, one human life versus 500 buildings, I'd like to think that the one human life should morally win out.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you, Kenny. Martin Luther King, in his speech, referenced that rioting, that protesting, it's the voice of the unheard. There have been many, many, many ways, and I'm not condoning rioting by any means. And I can understand looking at it from a business perspective, but if you're mad about the rioting, check yourself on why you're not mad about the loss of the human life. It's what's more important here. I so appreciate the honesty, and that's what we wanted to lead with in just having this discussion, is being authentic and being real. None of us have the perfect way, and we were raised in a household. We're just all human beings trying to do the best that we can. But that's the thing. We have to keep growing, not getting fixed in a mindset that because I grew up racist, or because I grew up liberal, that is just how I am. No, we need to take it all and constantly be pushing ourselves to grow and learn and to have empathy for other people, even though we cannot relate, even though you don't fear for your child's life when they go out. I have feared for mine. This mama prays differently than probably you guys do, because my concerns for my children are different. So, and that's a real thing. That's not made up. I don't fabricate that. I'm not jumping on my fears. Like, that is a real thing. My dad, and this, I'll finish this real quick, is my dad, even before I was born, he was married to my mom. I'm mixed black and white. They would drive through the South, and he would have my mom drive, and he would be laying down in the back seat. because it was illegal for them to be driving together. He knew what the outcome would be. He was fearing for his life. That's a real thing. That is a real thing. And to just dismiss it and go, well, I don't know all the facts. Whatever that dialogue is in your head, well, I'm sure he did something, whatever it is that allows you to be complacent about it. Again, going back to that mindset shift, I would check myself and go, why am I thinking that? Why is their experience different than mine? Why am I being hardened to that? Why am I being so complacent to that? So I appreciate the honesty of all of you guys. I love you guys. I learn from each of you so much. And just, thanks for being open to being brave and having this conversation, being honest. I appreciate that. I respect
Thank you, Angela. And I think that's the way that we probably should, if it's okay, finish this. And that's be brave out there. Be brave to speak your mind. Be brave to be honest, and be brave to look inside of yourselves and say, where am I going down the wrong path? Because we all do it. There's nobody here that on this screen or on this audience or in this country that hasn't made a mistake, hasn't gone down the wrong path, hasn't thought, oh my God, and then thought to themselves, ooh, probably that was a wrong thing to think. And I think without having us our own self-check to start with, we can't get to where we need to be. The other thing I think is there is not a perfect system. There is not a perfect solution. But we do need to break it down to try to get back into the right path. So thank you guys for that. Thank you, Angela, more importantly than anybody who said we need to have this conversation. I was a bit concerned. Jordan was a bit concerned. Kenny was a bit concerned, but I think you were absolutely right in taking us down this road. And I think it's a conversation that more people need to have with their families to start with their kids, with their parents, and have an open conversation where it's safe. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And themselves, and personally yourself.
And accountability. Hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. Having some self-reflection.
All
and
right.
What is the root? That's where it happens. Thanks, guys. Okay, what's next on the agenda?
Quarantine. What's happening with quarantine, everybody? We're still quarantined. We're still on safe at home. If you come to Hawaii on a plane, you are still required to quarantine for 14 days, whether you're a resident or a guest. There is, at this point, no identification of that being released. However, the governor did say, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that they are going to allow inter-island travel starting on the 16th without quarantine. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are going to be island hopping just to get out and exposed. I've always said, oh, I don't have island fever, but and I don't. But boy, I want to travel. I just enjoy traveling, and I would normally go every couple months, and so it will be good to see. And plus, there's a lot of inter island families. By that I mean there's aunties and uncles that live on different islands, and so our local community has really been stopped from connecting. So I think that's going to be a positive thing. You guys, thoughts on that?
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays. I read the message yesterday sent out from Governor Ige, and I think it's great. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out with distancing, and will they have less people on the flights? I don't know. We're wanting to get over to Kauai to visit some family. But again, we'll see. I'm just
and I think
that out.
I think it is a good thing, because I know my wife and daughter came back onto the island a while back, and the process of getting through the airport, through the screening that they had in place then, was painfully long. And so that, for a plane that was less than half full, it took them 45 minutes to get through the screening just to get out of the secure part of the airport. If that's what's going to be happening, it's going to be another frustration for everybody. So I will say that for those of you who are watching, if you're planning on doing some island hopping, if you're here, just be prepared. Just go with the attitude of, I'm going to get off the plane and it's going to take me a while until we get this figured out. If you're on the mainland, hopefully by the time they open mainland flights up with, no quarantine, their system is going to be in place. And that is the one thing that I do think is great, is that the government's saying, okay, how do we do this? Let's test run it on our local community first before we start bringing people in.
Yeah.
And the other question I got asked on another forum I was on today, when are they going to start allowing people from the mainland to come in? I don't know. I'm hopeful it's July 1st. I don't know if that's realistic, what we're thinking. Hey, Scott, how you doing? So that's we'll see. But again, we're going in the right direction. We have had very, very, very few cases here in Maui, in Hawaii. So hopefully we'll keep the process going.
Yeah. Real quick, let's say hi to everyone. Hi, Karen. Hi, Alana. Good morning. Oh, Jerry Lynn. Good morning.
Lynn.
Oh, Scott.
Scott is he's a loan officer in California that I've gotten to know. So he's actually, and that's where I was talking. He's got a flight booked July 2nd to come out here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's not playing. He's ready.
Scott, I will tell you, if you're still out there, I would keep continuing to watch. It's going to be close, whether you're going to get here or not. Thank you, Lisa, for the comments. Yes, it was a challenge to get down that path with making sure we were reasonable, respectful, and everything else, but I'm glad we did that. You might want to, let's post these. So anyways,
Lisa says the dine-in restaurants. Oh, yeah, because Jordan's going to Casanovas. Should I have even said that? What if everybody shows up?
Oh, wow.
Jordan group restaurants are opened. Restaurants have permission to be open for dine-in eating. I know I was at Coconuts last night just picking up French fries because they got really good French fries at Coconuts. So we were just eating leftovers, but everybody wanted French fries, so we went and got 2 boxes of French fries. But they're dining. They're doing only outdoor in-house dining over there. So we're figuring out how to work through it. But they can do it now. So we're seeing more places opening up, but not everybody's open yet. So they're slowly opening. So before you decide to go, you probably should call and check and make sure.
All right. What else we got?
Oh, bingo. We have our bingo is over.
Oh, that's right.
South Maui takeout bingo.
Good morning, Davina.
Hey, Davina. That we got to do. So we're going to do the drawing in a few seconds. The other thing that is exciting is now that things are starting to open up, I got a call yesterday regarding our Taste of Paradise videos, which sort of obviously we put that on hiatus because we just couldn't go out to do those things. But we just got a call to come out to Maui Kuya Chocolate Factory. So I am so excited because they have the most amazing chocolate. They're a brand new startup company, and we're going to go do a chocolate tasting there hopefully next week. And we're going to do a Taste of Paradise video on it. They've got a little retail space and a tasting room and a farm. So we're going to go experience that. So be on the lookout for a Taste of Paradise for Maui Kuya chocolate. And the cool thing about Maui Kuya chocolate, all the proceeds, I believe we have to be clear, but I think all the proceeds or all the profits from their product are donated to charity. We'll have more details on that as well. So it's a really cool operation. And anything else? Oh, gyms. That's the other thing. Jordan.
I'm stoked. Yeah. So my gym, my Powerhouse Gym, is opening today. You have to actually reserve it. So you had to go on an app and stuff and reserve a spot, but I'm going at 12 and it's the first time. And gosh, since everything started so I'm super excited about that. I need some exercise. I've been eating way too good. So it'll be good. Yeah. It's really encouraging to see things, slowly opening over here and the community kind of going out and supporting that. So
I love it. Get some
Yeah.
endorphins going. I know. My wife took a picture of me last night, and it's like, oh my gosh, that is not very attractive.
I know I gained weight too. I'm not too happy about it, but whatever.
So let's go eat chocolate. What the hell?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. So I am going to finish with let's talk a little bit about what we did with the Maui Takeout Bingo, and then we'll do our drawing. So, Angela, why don't you give us an overview? Because I'm tired of talking.
Oh, for the South Maui Takeout Bingo. So, in order to support local, all the restaurants and everything, every restaurant, any restaurant, you had to get a bingo, 5 spaces, take a photo of your food and your receipt, and post on hashtag South Maui Takeout Bingo, and then put your name in, and then Tom has the names for the last drawing that we're doing for this contest. So
this is the big drawing.
This is the big drawing.
It's the big drawing.
Yeah, yes, for the big drawing. So this is the people who all got bingos, and they submitted their bingo cards. And so we created a bingo card with the 25 different restaurants on it. And so we're doing the drawing now for who's going to win the $250 worth of gift certificates, and we're going to buy whoever wins a $50 gift certificate from each one of the restaurants that they went to, because we figure they went there, so they must have liked them. So that's a good place to support those local restaurants and support the cause. So, Jordan, can you pick out the the other hand? There you go. All right. Oh wait, no, I got to do it.
That one.
All right. Who is the winner? So our winner is, congratulations. First, let me tell you where they went. They went to Paia Fish Market, Kraken Coffee, Pizza Madness, Peggy Sue's, and Fabiani's. And it was, all of those places are good.
Mm-hmm.
They're pizza fans too. Sarah Wheeler is our winner. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, Sarah.
Good job, Sarah.
If you're watching,
good job, Sarah Wheeler.
Shame on you. You do not need to be present to win. And we'll get those gift certificates all lined up, and also for the other winners that we've had, we're going to be going out and buying all the restaurant gift certificates and providing them to you. We'll just need to get your contact information, and we'll get it sent off to you. So
thank you for your support, guys. That's awesome.
Yep, we appreciate it, and thank you to supporting all the restaurants as well. And now that they're open, get out there and support them. Also, I know that there's a bunch of new rules, and I'm sure they'll be able to let you know what those are. And Kenny, I understand that you might be heading back our way.
I'm thinking about it. I did just see that the governor is going to be making an official announcement about lifting the out-of-state quarantine within the next few days. I have a feeling that it's still going to be pushed further. So if that is indeed the case, I'm going to be coming in. My mom's birthday is next week, so I would be very rude to leave now, but not too long after that, be heading in and probably doing the 2 weeks. Could you imagine if I just said, okay, this was great, bye, happy birthday?
No, you can't do that, Kenny. I agree.
Yeah.
So
perfect. Give your mom a hug for me.
Yep, yeah, happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll when's her birthday?
The 9th.
The 9th. Is that a Wednesday? Can we get her on our taste? What day is it?
I think it's a Tuesday.
So we'll have to wish her happy birthday on next week's show. Day late.
I'll drag her in. We'll see.
Guys, that's a Midwest slang. Guys. Anyway, thanks so much. Hopefully everybody out there is doing well. They're surviving through their quarantine and surviving through the stay-at-home order and being safe wherever you live. And we talked about a lot of different things. We went down into some places that we just feel are so important, and we want you all to know that we are out there trying to be proactive, not reactive. And if you are thinking about real estate, we happen to sell real estate too, because we haven't mentioned that on the whole show. But we are in business. The good news is I'll have a couple new listings coming up this week. I think we've got 3 new listings. Angela doesn't even know about one of them yet.
Surprise.
So, pardon?
Surprise.
Surprise! So be on the lookout. We'll talk about those when they're all put together. And if you have requests or have questions about real estate, reach out to Jordan, reach out to me, Angela, Kenny. You can't reach out to him because he's not a licensed agent, but he'll tell you to call us. So
I will.
whoever you prefer to talk to, we don't care. We just want to be a resource and a guide for you in your real estate transactions. If you're looking at buying or selling real estate somewhere else, I have a network of literally thousands of agents, hundreds of them that are personal friends of mine all over the country, all over the world, whether it's Canada, Europe, South America, Central America. I really do know people, agents in all of those places. Israel, I've got a friend that's in Israel. So truly, we have this network of agents that is so powerful, and we can help you to make sure that if you're going to a market that you don't know, we can refer you to an amazing agent somewhere that's a full-time agent that knows what they're doing. Any other thoughts, guys?
That's it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yes, guys. Aloha.